Hello everyone, I am back, and today we are doing a review on Captain Marvel. So let's get it started. Well, I just finished up a couple, maybe like 2 nights ago, was Captain Marvel. I would have to say, um, for this movie, I do not hate, but watching it, I can see why people hate it. For me, I a little bit enjoyed it. It's kind of like a little adventure movie. It's not worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp, but it does have its issues at the same time, where it's telling, I think, two stories all in one about her life and then how the Skrulls are the bad guys. So it's all over the place. But I have to give this movie maybe a not 8 or 9 out of 10. I still enjoy it, and I can see why though people hate it. But for me, I enjoy this movie. I like the Brie Larson's Captain Marvel's version of this character. But yeah, in the movie though, it is get. I mean, at least you watched it like me 1,000 times. It is a little bit confusing, like who's the bad guy, who's not the bad guy, who's this dude, who's that dude. But yeah, if you let's just I'm not trying to give any spoilers, but if you haven't watched Guardians of the Galaxy, you won't know what character this is in this movie as well. What else can I say? Yeah, there's not really like a lot. There is action scenes, does the Marvel movie, but from what they're saying, she's the most powerful Marvel character. I think the one problem in this movie doesn't exactly like show that. It's just basic origin movie type. But at the end, you get to see why she's the powerful character in the MCU. What else do I have to say about this movie? Um, it like one story focuses on how she became Captain Marvel, and the other story is about the bad guys. Again, I'm not trying to do spoilers, but basically she learns that the bad guys aren't the bad guys, and the guys she's fighting for are the bad guys. So I know it's kind of confusing. And this Marvel character is someone that she sees going into the I forgot what it was called, but she's the first person she sees, like kind of like a mentor or something. And yeah, it is kind of like once you first watch it, it's kind of like, okay, not that interesting. For me, it kind of was, though. I kind of, like just had fun with this movie. And I even have, well, somehow I got taken down the poster of the Captain Marvel, the same one as here. And I got to watch this in IMAX. And for me, it was like, okay, I actually kind of enjoy this, but I can see the laziness part of why people don't enjoy this movie. But for me, I just had fun with this movie. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies, but it's not like I would, how would I say, recommend it to someone who's starting off with a Marvel movie and wants to watch a Marvel movie. Probably wouldn't recommend that one, but for me, I mean, I'm not a guardian of this movie, but for me, I actually can, like, with this one, can sit down and, like, just enjoy it and see why people hate it. But for me, I actually like this movie. It was a pretty good joyride, all the memories jogging in my brain. But anyway, back to the movie. It's how can I say? It's also the first time we meet. Well, not the first time, but the first time in the MCU where Nick Fury meets a superhero. So this is also his first kind of introduction to the MCU, I guess you could say. Well, to a superhero in the MCU. And he has both eyes. And then, but yeah, there wasn't really like, how would I say, a lot of action scenes where it's like, oh my gosh, she's so powerful. At least that I was watching it. It's just basically Marvel stuff, fighting and all that. I mean, at the end, it does show her powerful stuff. But what else do I have to say about this movie? Again, I can see why people are confused with the bad guys and good guys, and probably somewhere in between. I was kind of confused about the origin of Marvel because it didn't really how would I say really explain her backstory that good. I mean, she said she was working with the Creed until okay, fine, a little bit spoilers right here. She figured out she's working with the Creed, and she figures out that the Creed are the bad guys and the Skrulls aren't. And the Creed are taking over the Skrulls like planets, like their homes and all that, so they're all evacuating. But I just thought it was one weird thing I did thought about this movie is how they didn't like how do I say meet the Skrulls, like learn about the Skrulls. Instead it was all like just fighting and blow them up. Like when I was watching the movie, it's like in that one part where the dude's like there's just scavengers, like they're just hungry and all that. And I'm like, you know what though, I'm gonna have to agree with them, even though the first time I'm watching this, oh my god, he's a villain. Same as everyone. But I have to agree with that one Skrull because they're basically the Creed take over all their planets that they live on, kill every one of the Skrulls, and they're the last ones surviving. So yeah, but basically somehow Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, is somehow on the Creed side before learning that the Skrulls are actually the good guys and not the villains. So yeah, I mean, once you understand it at that point, it's not really that confusing, but again, just my review, my thoughts of the movie. I thought it was a pretty good, like, how do you say, could you say, it's not like fully action packed, and let's say, like, you got done with Avengers Infinity War, that was all like action packed, losing heroes. This one was kind of like better than, again, Ant Man the Wasp, and it was just like its own little adventure, nothing too big. I mean, did have that one guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, that one villain from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Watch that first. Did have him in it, but not that much. Like how do I say, maybe a little cameo sometimes in some scenes, and then at the end he's just kind of like standing there watching Captain Marvel defeat all the ships, and like, nope, I'm backing away. And but yeah, it was a pretty like a medium, maybe I could say like a medium type Marvel movie. It's not like fully like grip onto your seat, but it's also something like, oh, okay, it got me a little excited right there. This is fun. I actually quite enjoy this movie. For that was my reaction though every time I watch it. Like I just like now I understand what people's problems of the movies are, but I can't really like that much explain it because for me it's like okay, this is actually kind of like a fun little, Marvel movie. It's nothing too big and action packed like Iron Man or something like that. But anyways, yeah, I have to rate this one maybe a 8 out of 10. Again, kind of a confusing storyline and not really like a lot of action where I think she's the most powerful. Well, probably in the comics she is, but I mean, I do have some of the comics, so I understand the whole powerful stuff. Not the original, but some of like maybe the old new school type Captain Marvel comics. But yeah, anyway, I had fun with. It's not again like big action packed like Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War. It's like somewhere in between those movies. Not the year, but the movie itself took place between those two movies, so it was kind of like okay, I kind of enjoy this woman, this Captain Marvel. I hope she does good in the MCU. No, I have not seen the new one or really any other new Marvel stuff. I like to watch the old ones that came between uh Iron Man all the way to Thor Love and Thunder. That's where I'm at with the MCU. Even though yes, I have watched the Guardian Galaxy Holiday Special and Guardian Galaxy Volume 3. I swear, those were the only new MCU movies and TV show that I have actually seen. Other than that, though, the TV shows before, like Thor: Love and Thunder, and a little bit after, actually before Thor: Love and Thunder, I have seen like Loki and Miss Marvel and Moon Knight. I've seen those, but other than that, really nothing really past Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, again, except for the Guardian of the Galaxies, but that was it. But yeah, I do. How would I say? Watch the rest of the Marvel movies and then get to this one, unless you're doing a chronological order. But again, this is one of my favorites that I just like to relax to. Again, I don't really highly recommend it to someone who's trying to get into Marvel. If they watch it and they hate it, that's fine. They watch it, they love it. That's cool. But for me, I actually really though enjoy this one. Even though again, I wouldn't really highly recommend it to anyone who's starting off Marvel. But it's a good little adventure Marvel movie. It doesn't really bring in Captain America or Iron Man. This is the first superhero Nick Fury meets. So basically, at the end, he wants to search for more heroes, and that's where Iron Man and Captain America come in and all that. But anyway, still a good, decent superhero movie. It's not. I don't. For my reaction, my understanding. For me, I don't think this is a bad movie. Like a horrible, let's stop this type movie. I think it's just pretty okay. One of my favorites to sit down, relax to type Marvel movies. And I have fun with it. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and see you later.